Put down your baby and pick up a beer. Dad Jokes is back with a brand new episode. I'm Jerry, joined here by Brandon, and you're listening to the First Time Podcast between two first-time dads going through the journey of fatherhood with all of you listening. So, Brandon, what's going on, boss?
Well, Jerry, it's getting to D-Day. We got a 1-year-old coming up in about a week, so
That's
it's
crazy.
Absolutely can't believe it. Kelsey and I, we were taking some family pictures recently, and I guess I'm just gonna get into my week. Then we'll get into my dad joke. But we had some family pictures to commemorate Bryce turning 1. We cheated the system and did it a week early, but the in-laws came in. My parents were involved. We got some really good pictures with everyone. And Bryce had some cake for the first time. So if you look at the Dad Jokes Instagram or Facebook page, you can get a sneak peek of him having some cake. We might release some more photos a little bit later on in the week as we start to get some new ones. But it was definitely a lot of fun to kind of see him. He went crazy with the cake. It was meant for him to be able to go crazy with it, and he definitely did not disappoint.
That's cool.
Yeah, we gotta. You're soon to follow, but we've been doing this thing for a little while. We got a 1-year-old now. I absolutely can't believe it.
That's crazy. So, Brandon, let me ask you a question, because I've noticed this in parents, and I'm not trying to throw shots here, but sometimes you'll ask parents how old their kid is, and you'll get parents that are like, they're 32 months. They're 27 months. Crazy numbers, right? And I'm always like, once the baby turns 1, it's 1. Do you agree, or is it going to be 13 months, 14
Completely
months?
agree. He's 1 until he's 1.5.
Okay.
And then when he's 1.5, after the next milestone is 2.
I agree. Okay. We're on the same page. I
now,
never understood that.
This is kind of where we're saying this now, but we do a podcast talking about our kids. Yeah. And so we're going to be updating the listeners and updating ourselves when we go back and listen. And we definitely are going to say he's 13 months, he's 14 months.
Well, pediatricians kind of do it to you too, because they're like ingrained in you. Like, how old are they now? And you got to like tell them 14 months, 15 months.
I'm going to walk that one back. I'm sure that
I'm more talking like at work to like casual people that just see Bryce and they're like, hey, how old's your son?
He's 1 year old.
Yeah, he's 1.
Well, it's going to be super easy, like, for the next month.
Exactly.
Holla at me after that. Yeah.
We'll see how you do.
He's 1. Yeah, I don't know.
I like it. So let's hear this dad joke, Brandon. What's the dad joke?
So, Jerry, and I've been on a little PG-13 kick lately.
Oh, mine's PG-13 today, so if yours is, mine will fit right in.
Perfect. This is for the dads out there. What's the difference between a snowman and a snow woman?
I got no good
Snowballs.
Answers. There you go. All right. I was gonna say I had no good answers. I wasn't even gonna guess because you told me.
I kind of want to know what you were thinking.
I like it. Okay, that wasn't bad. Mine's actually. We'll see what mine is.
There's a couple other quick hits for the week too. Bryce has gotten to the point where his palate is so sophisticated that he is refusing food unless it has Rao's marinara sauce on it.
Oh, so gosh.
We got that.
He's as bougie as his high chair.
Dude, that is not a cheap store-bought marinara sauce. And he's sitting there eating like, and the thing is, this kid, Kelsey cooks for him gourmet meals. We eat kibbles and bits. Bryce is eating, like she made like this like I can't even remember what it was. It was like some kind of like pesto something or other with these fancy noodles. I don't know enough about it. He was like, he'd had it before, he didn't want it today. He's like playing with it, and he'll grab it and put it in his mouth. He'll look at her. He'll open his mouth, spit it back out in his hand, look at the ground. This is all like I'm being deliberate in how I'm describing this, and he's deliberately making these decisions. Look at the ground, poof, throw it on the ground. Riley eats it. Next thing, does the exact same thing. Then he figured out we got the suction like plates that go right on the like counter of his high chair. Yep. He figured a way to stick his finger underneath.
Oh yeah.
To try to flip it. So then we had to take it away and actually start feeding him, which we haven't done. Like he's been feeding himself since he started eating, so finally she was like, whatever. I know how I'm gonna get him to eat. She put that sauce on there. Then she knew it because this has happened all week. Put the sauce, mix it up. He tasted the marinara sauce on there. Fine, smashed the whole rest of the meal. So
what I'm hearing is it goes
bougie.
Bryce, Riley, then you guys as far as quality of food in the household. Is that true?
Oh, don't even get me started. Riley's pet food costs so much.
That's what I'm saying. It goes Bryce, Riley just a little bit below, and then you guys at the bottom eating chicken tenders from Mexican restaurants.
Exactly. Actually, I had some this week
oh,
too.
Gosh. We're not getting back on that.
So we're going to talk about our first birthday party, which is coming up on Saturday. You guys were graciously invited. You're welcome. I'm thinking we're catering Sagebrush. I'm thinking about just ordering some chicken tenders just for you.
I kind of hope you do, because I'll eat them and it'll be fine because I didn't pay for them. I'll be all about it if that's the case. And your sauce smorgasbord that you've bragged about.
I mean, I got a lot of sauces, man.
I like
it.
But
last thing for the week, and it's kind of made up for his bougie taste in food, is he slept through the night twice, which is a milestone for
there
him.
you go.
So no one had to walk into his room. Slept right through. He got me back a little bit last night, but overall he's turned a corner, it seems like.
I like it. Well, I think that Bryce and Peyton talk to each other, and Bryce is like, "Hey, I'm gonna give my parents a break. Peyton, you go turn up," because she's almost had the opposite week. Well, it was interesting because like she's been on a streak of really good sleeping, and the beginning of this last week was great. She's sleeping through the night. She's going down easy. It was great. And then about a couple nights ago, so me and Macy both had the weekend off, and she always, whenever we have the weekend off, has something weird going on. So Friday night, she woke up 3 times in the middle of the night, which she hasn't done in like a month or so. So I was like, all right. She woke up 3 times, but she went down pretty easy each time. Okay, fine. Well, the next night, last night, she woke up and she was up for over 2 hours and would not go back down. And I mean screaming. I went up there 3 times. Macy went up there multiple times. Tried everything. It was not working. So we have one of 2 conclusions. Either A, she's teething, which is unfortunately what I'm hoping for, because option 2 is it's probably or could be the 9-month sleep regression, which I'm hoping is not the case, because that can be a tough one. So that
I hope
that
for your
could
case
be,
it's not the case.
That could be it. We'll see. It's been weird though, because she's been irritable during the day too. So this last weekend, we had a 1-year-old's birthday party, which is very topical because that's what we're doing. But she went to her friend Essie's birthday party, and she's normally great when we go out in public. She's really good. She was very cranky and irritable and just fussy. And then the next day, we went out to my dad's to see my dad, and we went on the boat. And that kid does not like a life jacket to save her life. You could not calm her down with that thing on. But even without that, she was very irritable for a couple hours and just cranky. And today, kind of been cranky, Macy said, when I was at work. So the last 3 days, she's been cranky during the day too. And the weeks before, the happiest she's like ever been. She'd have moods and periods, but it just seems like maybe she's teething or going through something that's kind of making her mad. So we'll see what's going on there. She's been eating a ton. The kid likes to eat. So, and she's not picky. So that's good thus far. We started brushing her teeth too, which is kind of cool with her teeth coming in. So, we've been doing that lately. And then the big thing for us is today she's 9 months. So it's her 9-month birthday today, which means we have our 9-month doctor's appointment later this week. So I'm excited to see where she's charting, how she's doing, because we were around a lot of little kids at that birthday party, Brandon, and some of them older than her, some of them smaller or younger than her, but they were all bigger than her. and by a decent amount. She's definitely petite.
She just might have a late growth spurt.
She might. Her friend who turned 1 she is tall, and Peyton is not. But she's doing good. Other than that, she's crawling everywhere, climbing on things. She's picking up a lot more. She has this little game. It's actually from the Love Every kit, and this kind of goes into baby gear, but it's basically a box with a hole in the top that you put like a little ball in, and then you open a door. I don't know if you guys have that.
Yep.
Well, she freaking loves this thing, and she figured it out really quickly. I was surprised how quickly she figured it out. But it's funny because sometimes she does it imperfect, but then like sometimes I swear the kid has ADD or something, and she'll miss putting it in the hole, like the ball in the hole like 100 times, and then she's like, "Where the heck did the ball go?" And I'm like, "Well, you weren't paying attention and you threw it on the side of it." Like it's just funny. She'll do it 20 times right and then all of a sudden 20 times wrong. But it's entertaining.
How does
watching her do it.
Raja do with those like toys with the balls and stuff like that?
Well, that one stays in her like little playpen thing because Raja would probably eat it. But Macy likes to put Raja in the playpen with Peyton. So well, that's basically I don't know. Raja does good actually. If you get her really riled up, like today, I was playing with Peyton and her, and I was messing with her with one of Raja or Peyton's stuffed animals, and Raja got it and ran away. It was kind of my fault. I was kind of antagonizing her, but she let it go as soon as I told her. But she does good with her toys for the most part. And she definitely loves that Peyton's a messy eater, so she likes to scoop, just like Riley, scoop up anything she can that Peyton drops.
Yeah.
But it was, yeah.
What we've been running into is the opposite. Riley has gotten better. He still messes with Bryce's toys every once in a while. If you leave something out and you're not in the room, you might catch him getting into something. But Bryce will not leave Riley's toys alone. And today he knew he wasn't supposed to go over there. Like this kid is like smart in all the wrong ways.
Oh, they're
because he knows exactly where he's not supposed to be. We'll go over there. We'll turn around, look at you, like what you gonna do? I'll keep coming back.
They want like the only thing they're not allowed to have too. I literally have her in a playpen. I'm not kidding, Brandon. She probably has 100 toys in there. They're little toys and this, but they're all different kinds, over 100. And I'll go in there sometimes with her, and sometimes I'll bring like the remote and I'll have the TV on in the background or something while I'm like playing with her. The only thing she wants is the remote. No matter where I put it, I'm hiding it, putting it. That's the only thing she wants because it's the only thing she's not supposed to grab. And then we're like on the couch, same thing. She finds like the cord, like the random like iPhone charger.
Yeah, and they find it.
Correct.
Stuff you don't even know is there.
Yes.
This is the thing. So Bryce was like, he is like that with the remote. He was like that with cell phones too. So what did we do? We bought him a baby little toy cell phone, mm-hmm. Right? He could care less about that thing.
Nope.
He'll touch my cell phone all day long.
Correct.
What is the difference?
They just know what they're not supposed to. We were at my dad's house. He's got a big like living room area, lots of carpet, and he doesn't have any toys or anything everywhere. It's just carpet, right? And there's stuff. We brought her toys. We put them out, and I see her start crawling. And the thing is, I know her now, and I'm like, she wants the cords underneath the table, tucked in the back. And I'm saying it, and I'm watching her. I'm like, Macy, this is what she wants. She wants these cords. And sure enough, where does she crawl to? These cords. I don't even know how she saw them. She spotted them out and like made a mission to beeline right there. This kid, like I swear, she finds the one thing she's not supposed to have, and she's like, "Ooh, I'm gonna go there."
They know what they're doing.
They definitely do. Brandon, but I mentioned kind of a piece of baby gear in that whole spiel of mine. Do you have any baby gear this week you want to go over?
There's something that's made a kind of a recurrence, or is recurrence the word I wanted to use? I'm not sure. But when Bryce was born, his Uncle Jay bought him a couple things. I think I mentioned it, but I wanted to bring it back up. I'm a huge Detroit Pistons fan, and he had a custom Detroit Pistons. I think he went to like NBAgear.com. Custom Detroit Pistons robe that has Bryce's name on it and like the Pistons logo. And then that we used, it was too big, so we brought it back out. And then we've really been using lately, it's a rocking chair. It's a Detroit Pistons rocking chair. So we were out today. We just had our deck redone. So we were outside kind of enjoying it a little bit. And I put Bryce in the rocking chair while Mom and Dad were sitting in the chairs on the deck. And it was just, I'm looking at it. I'm like, this is just it was cool. It came from his uncle. And if you have any like custom sports teams that you guys root for, they're able to make them just for your kids, and it's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. Yeah, that's definitely something that's kind of cool. I think resurgence. Maybe that's the word you were looking for. Resurgence.
That's exactly the word I was looking for. Good job.
There you go. I had kind of a piece of baby gear make a resurgence too, but not because we had it, but because I thought about it forever ago, and then it popped up this weekend, and I was like, you know what? There was a reason I thought about this before, and it probably makes sense. So we were at this birthday party, and like I said, kids everywhere, right? And I noticed like one of the kids that's very similar in age to Peyton is about to eat, and the mom pulls out like this portable little high chair thing. And I'm like, this thing's kind of dope. And I bet you in the house it'd be really convenient because you could put it on like a table and stuff. And so basically, there's a bunch of them out there, but you can put the kid in it. It's like a seat, like the up seat's very similar to it. Like I know that you guys I think had, and it's got like a little tray in front of them, buckles them in, but you can put it on a table, you can put it on a chair, and it actually, it's for not just for little kids, it's all the way up to like 30 pounds or something crazy. But we went online and I found one when I was at the party. Fisher Price makes one. It's called the Fisher Price Healthy Care Deluxe Booster Seat. 5,742 reviews. It's almost a 5-star, and it's $24.99. And I'm like, man, that thing would be nice because her high chair, even though I kind of like it, is a pain to clean. So that thing probably just putting on the table sometimes, or if we go out in public, I'm like, that thing almost seems more convenient. So I haven't bought it yet, but it's in my cart. Probably going to hit the button tonight, Brandon. So that's a piece of baby gear that I'm excited to try in real life.
Before you hit that button, let me look in our storage because the upseat we still use, but there was whatever the other version of it is. I believe it was. Okay. I think we have two. It's the Bumbo seat actually. So I think we got multiple seats. We might have taken it to my parents' house. I don't know, but just wait a day before you hit send because we might or hit purchase because we might. I don't know if this works the same for your household, but I might have a extra Bumbo seat that's around here somewhere. I know you like free
because I've been sitting on it for a couple of days because I'm like it's like $25 too, but I'm like I don't know because she's been fine eating for 9 months, but I do hate cleaning that high chair because it's got like fabric on it and she's messy and I actually like when she eats. I kind of like, she gets messy, but I'm pretty conscious of food going onto the high chair. Like, I'm watching her. Like, if she's feeding herself, I'm catching the spoon when she goes to throw it. Nah, Macy lets her just go at it. And
that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, I know it's probably better for her, but it drives me nuts.
It is.
It's just like the food's everywhere.
You let them get messy. They don't have any kind of negative feelings towards food. Studies show it, Jerry. I know you're a studies guy.
You know what they also say, Brandon, is that you should have your kids try all the 9 different allergens. And Peyton actually recently just tried hummus for the first time, and she actually loved it. And then she loved it so much that she had it again tonight for dinner. So I'm excited for that because she's had most of the allergens now. I know that's something that you guys focused on as well, but we were probably a little bit later on some of them than we should have been.
Yeah, and Bryce did really good with them. The big thing is, listeners will remember was the peanut butter, but he eats hummus all the time. That's something his mom and I love. So you got to take Peyton to Pete away, Jerry.
I actually like Pete away, but I'll tell you what, Brandon, this is everything nowadays. Nothing against Pete away, but stuff is expensive. You go to Pete away for lunch, it's like $15-$16.
You know what isn't expensive? Whoa, $15 for
you get like the bowl, right?
You need to get that.
That's what I get.
You need to get the Detroit Shawarma.
Well,
Detroit
I don't
Shawarma.
know. I've only ever got the bowl thing. Anyways, what's not expensive?
Man, what are you putting in your bowl?
I just did what the guys told me at work to do. I'd never been there. I got intimidated by it.
Oh man, they putting you together. You probably bought like $1.5 million.
Probably. It was more than enough food.
I'm not spending.
It
that
was
much.
more than enough food. That's for sure.
Kids meals though at Plate, it's like a cheat code. I never thought to order it.
It is,
but like Chipotle, you get like the kids like cheese quesadilla. It's like $2.50.
Dude, Culver's.
That's a better meal than
Culver's has a good.
Oh, I don't know.
They have a good kids meal. Macy will get stuff like that sometimes. You go through drive-through, they don't know you got kids or not. You get the kids meal. It's like the same amount of food as like a regular, half the price. Genius.
That's a cheat code.
Cheat codes. But Brandon, let's get into today's topic. Let's hit on birthday parties. This is a topic that a few short months ago you probably would have stayed far clear of as you were anti-birthday parties. But now, with Bryce about to be one, I know for a fact you're having a birthday party this weekend because I'm going to be there. And I want to hear all about the great experience I'm going to have at the Banks' house for this first birthday party.
Well, as I've been a staunch dissenter, if that's the right word, of first birthday parties for kids. There's a bunch of reasons why. Ultimately, my whole point, and it's still the same point, don't go out and spend a bunch of money on stuff that the kid is never going to remember and toys the kid isn't going to remember. It just doesn't, it doesn't make sense. But I do think it's a reason for everyone who's involved in the kid's life. Maybe not everyone, but a lot of people who are close get together, have a good time. Really, Jerry, what we're doing is throwing an adult party, and Bryce is invited.
I like it.
So that's what this is ultimately looking at. But today, I think we want to, in all seriousness, kind of take a look at that first birthday party is a milestone. What are some things that we're doing as a family, but also you guys are considering, and just in general, some tips to make the birthday party a success.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it's funny because you were kind of anti, and I never was. But we just started doing some things, and now I feel like I'm the anti guy because we've had some trouble with a few things already, which we'll kind of go into. But the big thing that we've had trouble with is a location. And so this is something that kind of is, I never thought about it, but Peyton has a winter birthday. And in the winter, especially in Michigan, you can't have people outside. And so we just went to that first birthday party, and the nice thing is they had a big tent. They had a ton of people outside. And if it's summertime, I can have a lot of people at my house, Brandon. But in the winter, Macy counted our list, and there's like 83 people on our list if everyone comes.
Ooh.
Yeah, we got big families. I mean, I got two sides of the family, and there's a lot of little kids. Other 83's kids counted too.
Lord
but exactly,
mercy,
I can't fit 83 people in my house.
That's one of my tips. One of my tips is consider your guest list.
Oh, here's the crazy part. It's literally like
we treated it like our
it's
wedding.
like just close family. That's the crazy part. We didn't even go. There's a few friends, but mostly it's just close family. And I doubt all 83 people come.
Did I make the cut, Jerry?
Yeah, you're on there. You're on there. Well, you, Kelsey, and Bryce. That's 3 of my 83. Without you, I'd have a clean 80.
Well, just give us the date. We'll make sure we're doing something else.
Exactly. But the location, my point is if you can't have it at your house, either because of the size of your house or because of the time of the year, or you just don't want people in your house, you got to figure out where you can have it. And we're struggling with that right now because you got to make sure the date matches up and that they are able to have a big enough space and accommodate all your needs. And also, it's expensive. Some of these places, Brandon, want like $500 for the room and then like $14 a person for food that you have to buy there and crazy stuff like that. And I'm like, nah, I'm out on that. So we're going through that, but you definitely want to have some prep time. The good thing is we're a couple of months ahead of it because if it was last minute, we'd be struggling for sure.
Yeah, and around us, some things from a venue perspective that it might be worth it to take a look at. Senior centers, a lot of times, you basically need a big room. A lot of churches, same places where people have open houses, like UAW halls, places like that. You typically can kind of sneak in and you can bring your own food and not have to necessarily worry about it. But to play devil's advocate to your argument, one thing that I had under considering the venue as a positive is from a cleanup perspective, from a providing like dishes, things like that could be taken care of if you just kind of want to have the party, have a clean sweep, not have to worry about anything or cleaning up your house, having people at your house. It could be looked at as a benefit as well, just depending on the situation. But my number one thing, Jerry, when you're starting to look at, and you hit on it, but looking at everything to do with the first birthday party, and this is my biggest beef. This is why you and others have heard me say that these parties are pointless. It's because people like spend so much money on these first birthday parties. You got to set a budget. Now everybody's situation is different, but if you start off with a budget in mind, you make decisions to fit into that budget. So things like your theme and stuff like that, which we'll get into shortly. They can be informed more or less by the budget that you set from the beginning. And to me, this is one of those situations where I'm going to be pretty strict because I know how we are, and it's very easy to say, okay, this is for Bryce. Let's take care of it. No, you set a budget. One thing you can do to kind of help you fit into the budget. I mentioned gifts before. We all know that our 1-year-olds or in that range, they'd rather play with the box that the toy came in half the time over the actual toy that they get. So maybe as a part of that, you ask the 83 people that you're inviting, maybe ask them to bring a dish if that's possible, or ask them to bring something that helps with the party. Maybe a few of them put in on the tent. Every situation is a little bit different, like I said, but so I know some people ask for books instead of toys. You can maybe bring one thing to help with the party instead of a toy, because ultimately it's about making a memory, getting the people together. The toys and stuff like that, a lot of times we're trying to declutter in these situations. So that's one of my first tips involved with setting the budget.
Well, two things on that, Brandon. One, if you want me to bring food, too late, because we've already bought Bryce 2 gifts. Yep, one from me, one from Macy. So you got 2, not just one.
We don't have 83 people coming.
Well, they all bring 2. You're gonna have enough gifts real quick, because we went. Like I said, when we went at that birthday party this past weekend, there was 2 of them long 8-foot tables full of gifts. And Macy looked at me and she goes, "If we get that many gifts, where are we gonna put everything?" And I'm like, I don't know.
Just remember what goes around comes around. That's all I'll say.
But the point is, though, not only with gifts do your kids probably not need all that stuff, but you really have to think, if you don't ask for specific things or tell people, hey, just bring books, which we've had friends do that before, you could get a lot of stuff, which can be good, but it also brings up the whole storage thing that we've talked about here in the past. Where are you going to put it all? What are you going to do with it all? And how are you going to have it in your house? So definitely something that you want to keep in mind when you're doing all of this is just the space aspect of it. Because again, like you said, some things you can ask for books, you can ask for something small, but if you don't, people are going to use their own imagination and they're going to buy whatever they think looks cool. And oftentimes the big giant gifts look cool. And like you said, the box is probably what's going to amaze Bryce and Peyton, not so much what's inside of it.
Exactly.
But
and that's another bullet point I have. It's keep the grandparents in check.
Oh, yes.
Because they may not show up with like a box or 2. They might show up with a swing set.
A jungle
gym. You don't have an idea of when. Yeah, a jungle gym. They might show up with a
pool.
With I don't know. Yeah, a car.
Here's a pool for
Here's
Bryce.
Your new car.
Bryce's first birthday.
They're playing. Let's make a deal with all these prizes. What's behind door number 1?
Oh yeah.
So, in all seriousness, their hearts are obviously in the right place, but some of those bigger gifts should take a little bit of coordination between mom, dad, and the grandparents.
Yeah, 100%. So make sure you're on the same page. The other thing too is, if you got multiple set of grandparents and you only keep one in check or only had a conversation with one, it can lead to some awkward situations. You got one grandma and grandpa bringing 10 gifts and the other one bringing 1, then they feel bad. And again, the kids don't know, but you want to be smart about it. So gifts is a big thing. Location is a big thing. Other big things, Brandon, food and drink. You want to figure out if you're having people bring some food, if you're cooking food up yourself, if you're getting it catered. Are you bringing drinks? Are you having people bring their own drinks? Are you having it adult beverages? Or you're not? These are all questions you want to ask. I'm a big fan if you're going to have a bunch of 1-year-olds running around, 2-year-olds running around, and have to know that you paid a lot of money for a party that they probably won't remember. You should probably have a few cervezas. That's just me. But that you do you. But I know that's something that we'll probably have at ours, and I gotta imagine you guys will probably have it at yours, whether it's Costco presses or some Nooners or whatever.
They don't sell them anymore.
Oh,
but I am making a seltzer and beer run for our get together. We're gonna have some fun while the kids are being watched. So. I'm not opposed to that. Another thing I have on my list is pick the right time. So, and this is where you're a little bit selfish, because as a parent, when the ideal time is for you to have a party for your kids' sleep schedule. So for us, we literally thought about that. We know that a couple people who were invited will be leaving work at the time the party starts, but they'll have plenty of time to get there and the party will still be going on. But if you started too late, the people who are coming to see the birthday boy are going to see cranky version of Bryce that they don't really want to see. So we're timing everything perfect, and that's something that you might not think about, but I would time it around your kids' sleep schedule over anything else.
Also, events going on. Oddly enough, Peyton's birthday's near. Hunting season, also Thanksgiving, but for us, we were going to have it on a weekend after her birthday on a Saturday, but that happens to be the Michigan-Ohio State football game. And which one is one of the biggest days of the year for Michigan fans such as myself, but two, my whole entire family. So I knew if we had it that day, either A, some of them would not show up, or B, they'd show up and all be just paying attention to their phones and whatnot. So we are probably going to have it on the Sunday instead of the Saturday, with either a lot of happy people or not so happy people. But it's funny. You got to think about those things because, if we didn't, I'm sure it would have turned into a whole thing. So be aware of what's going on and who you're inviting, what kind of people, what are they into? Are they going to be gone? Are people going to be there? The big ones, obviously, are the grandparents and probably some siblings. Other than that, you try to accommodate everyone, but some people are not going to be able to attend. And that's okay. It might be for the better. If you have a huge list, like 83 people, you might be happy when people say they can't come. So it's all good.
I can't reiterate that point more. We've all been to that wedding where half of the wedding party, half of the patrons are on their phones because the big game is on, and everyone's trying to get an updated look at the score. So let's schedule it the right way around. It's selfish, but they're turning one. No one's going to remember. Be selfish.
Well, if Michigan wins back-to-back years, we might just change the theme of Peyton's birthday to just, Michigan football because it'll be such a huge celebration. So I don't think Mom will approve of that, but Dad might have a couple banners going.
She is named after Tom Brady, right?
Well, we won't say that, but I will say that her very first game that she was alive for was the Michigan-Ohio State game this last year, and Michigan won. So she's our little good luck charm. So she's 1-0 career lifetime against Ohio State. So it's good.
If she's our good luck charm, I'll take that every time.
Exactly. But
so Jared, we need to talk about the elephant in the room.
Okay.
It's
the themes. I was gonna say, let's talk themes.
What is that's like the hot thing now. Like I remember as a kid going to people's birthday parties. The theme was Chuck E. Cheese.
The theme was birthday.
Was DZ.
It is your birthday.
We getting so complicated now, but sites like Etsy, Pinterest, things like that make it really easy and fun to kind of set a theme. We did a theme for Bryce's baby shower. You guys had a theme for the Peytons as well. So we had a few ideas that didn't make the cut. So I'm going to reveal those, and then much to the chagrin of my wife, I'm not going to get into everything with the one that we chose, but I will give a little sneak peek. So you and I might bounce them back and forth as far as the themes go, but the first one that didn't make the cut was the Wild Ones theme. And you can go on YouTube, you can go on Pinterest. It's like probably the most popular theme I feel like in America. There's so many people that do it, and this kind of fit the theme of our baby shower. So we didn't necessarily want to bring that back out, but for those who don't know, it's animal theme, kind of safari.
Do you like that book, Brandon?
And if I say theme one more time. What, Wild
Things Are?
Wild Things Are?
Because I feel like nobody likes that book, but yet it's really popular in today's culture with like parties and stuff. Because that book's trash.
Dude. So one, I never saw the movie.
I didn't either.
But after reading the book, I am trying to figure out how they made an hour-and-a-half long movie.
I have no idea
about that book. That book is
trash.
If there's a book I do not recommend, you know what? Let me not say that. Because that book was a gift by someone who I actually care about. I hope they're not listening to this.
Oh gosh.
I need to edit this out. I'm not. But yeah, hey, if you're listening, I'm sorry. That I know you guys like that book. That book is trash.
It is. I can't stand that book. I'm glad you agree with me. Oh, that's funny. So the theme's cool though. I don't hate the theme for a birthday party, but it's just funny to me that it blew up. And I don't know, that book to me, like I never, even as a kid, it wasn't like as a kid I liked it, and then I got older and was like, I don't get why I like that. No, I never liked it.
No, I didn't read it as a kid. The movie was the first time I heard of it, and it was just I'm out. Another thing that we had was or thought about was the sweet one. So it's incorporating. So wild one that incorporates one, sweet one obviously that incorporates one, and it's basically dessert theme. So you got a bunch of desserts around, and with the number one on them, it's pretty straightforward. Kind of budget friendly. You don't have to like do a ton with it, but it's something that jumped out to us as well.
Okay. And the actual theme, are we going to get into that, or do you want me to bounce some ideas that we kind of are?
Let me hear your ideas first, because I don't want to. I got two other ones. I don't.
So we actually pretty much know the theme that we were going to do, and we have since the beginning. I said we, Macy, which I'll touch on that in a little bit, but.
Oh, for the record, this was all Kelsey. I consulted her heavily on this episode.
But so what I did is I did some research on popular themes for this episode because we pretty much knew what we were going to do. One of the most popular ones right now is Alice in Wonderland, which is a nice play on words, but another movie/book that I think is trash. So nope, don't want anywhere near that.
Never seen it.
Can't stand it. And you know what? The funniest one I saw though that popped up on a few like websites in different places was boho chic for a 1-year-old. I'm like, what are we doing? What is the world coming to that is a
boho chic.
Whatever that means. First of all, second of all, why is that a 1-year-old's
I don't know
birthday? I'm just like reading this and I'm like, okay, can we go back to like you said? Can we do cool stuff? So one thing that I do think is cool that we're not doing, but I actually think is kind of cute is when they do like the kids Marvel type, birthday parties. It's like the kid version though, so it's like a little kid Iron Man and a kid Spider-Man, and they're like the cartoonish type characters. That's cute, and you can get some good cakes and different decorations for stuff like that. So I'm a fan of those, or even just cartoon characters in general.
I think that's definitely coming for Bryce, but I want him to be old enough to basically choose his character, have like a favorite Marvel character. It's going to be Spider-Man. Like whoever
he's gonna pick. He's gonna pick like Wonder Woman or something random.
Black Panther.
There you go.
Rest in peace.
He's gonna pick like who's the worst? The Hawkeye. It's the worst Avenger.
What kid doesn't love Spider-Man? Spider-Man's every.
No, I was Iron Man.
You. I bet they don't. Are you? That makes so much sense.
Heck yeah.
You were Iron Man was your favorite character as like a young kid?
His suit was awesome.
Oh,
and it was it was so cool. Plus, Tony Stark, for real. Yep, number one.
Okay. That explains
Spider-Man was creepy. He got bit by a spider and he just had like stuff flying out of his body.
Stuff like Tony Stark has stuff.
No, it's suit. He made it himself. That's honestly one of the best answers to a interview question I ever got. What superhero would you be? I said Iron Man, just on the spot because it's the first thing that came to my mind. But then I was like, because he didn't actually have any superpowers, he just made them all himself. And I was like, that's a dope answer.
So is Batman your favorite?
Batman's
superhero?
dumb because he doesn't kill anyone, and it's like, okay, so you're just knocking 700 guys on.
Neither does Iron Man.
Iron Man kills people, but Batman just be knocking 700 bad guys unconscious. It ain't believable.
Iron Man kills people on accident.
Nah, he literally owned a weapons
company. He'll blow up. Man, that's a good point.
I mean, let's not get too far into that, but also R.I.P. in the comics because he gone. So,
yeah. Well, you can tell who watches a lot of Marvel and who doesn't.
So, what other ideas did you have, Brandon?
So, two other ones that jumped out at us. First Trip Around the Sun is kind of a space theme. It looks really cool with some of the decorations you can get. And a lot of this stuff, if you just like Google kind of what I'm saying and first birthday party, they have like prearranged sets that you can buy that you basically purchase it and you can set it all up yourself, which is cool. And then the last one before our actual theme is Taco Bout One. We're a heavy Mexican food family, and it's a taco themed party. But before I reveal what we actually are doing, you have any other themes that you like?
Yeah, I mean there's a lot out there that are cute. Obviously, like princesses is a big thing with girls. There's bluey themes, which is really popular right now.
What's
exactly. So that was my My
Talking about
2-year-old
overrated.
niece had a Bluey party. And actually, a girl in our neighborhood had a Bluey party for her birthday. So those ones are cool, but nothing too crazy. Well, I'm anxious to hear what's your guys' theme, because I actually don't know.
So, the theme that we went with, you know that Kelsey and I both are big hip hop fans, and the one that just spoke to us was the big one, and it's a Notorious B.I.G.
Oh, I like it.
Themed party. So we're gonna have some
Are you gonna have a
playing,
big Papa
edited.
shirt on? Yeah.
Yep. Yes, I actually will.
I like it when they call me
thanks
Big
for ruining
Pop.
that reveal. So Dad will have a Big Papa shirt on. There's gonna be some sunglasses and Biggie, a lot of black and white in the room. Bryce has a special outfit that we'll reveal as well. But it was cool. One of his favorite books, or I guess one of my favorite books to read him, that he got from one of Kelsey's best friends is called 1, 2, 3 with Notorious B.I.G.
I like it.
So that'll be on display as well. But we're gonna have a Biggie themed party on Saturday.
That will be cool. I know our theme, we don't have all the details yet, but I know that it will be centered around somehow dinosaurs. Macy loves dinosaurs, and she specifically likes like girl dinosaur stuff. So there'll be like, I'm sure, like pink and purple and like dinosaurs and different things. But there's like a dino tea party type thing too. I don't know exactly how it's gonna go.
Can we get some Land Before Time?
Maybe, yeah. I do.
Can I make some requests?
I do. We do like dinosaurs in this household, so that will probably be the theme. But we got a few months to change it up. But overall, Brandon, first birthday parties, yeah, it's true. The kids probably won't remember, but one, there'll be pictures that you'll have for the rest of your life, and two, it is kind of a cool day as parents with your family to celebrate, the first year of life, because that first year, especially with your first kid, it's a lot, and it's a pretty cool day, and it's a big accomplishment. So if nothing else, it should be fun, and you should just have fun with it, even if the kids won't remember when they're older.
Yeah, you gotta celebrate that you made it. Like it's as much for selfishly for us as parents as it is for Bryce, because Bryce isn't gonna remember it. But I'm saying Bryce, Peyton too. She can be included. Well, thank you. But we made it. That's what we're celebrating.
I like it.
Let's hear these jokes, Jerry.
I got a joke, and it is PG-13. So if you are a PG only type of household,
is it a real PG-13 or is it? I think
it's PG-13, but we'll find out after this.
Okay.
So Brandon, what is the difference between beer nuts and deer nuts?
Beer nuts and deer nuts? It's already funny. I don't know.
Well, beer nuts are $1.50 a pound, and deer nuts are under $1.
That's good. That's a solid.
Yes.
That's a solid dad joke.
Beer nuts $1.50. Deer nuts under $1. So yeah, I'd say PG-13, but funny nonetheless.
And we got the Jerry repeat.
Jerry
felt good about that joke.
I did. Oh, speaking of which, really quickly, I wanted to run through this. The last episode we did was a top 10 episode. It was our 50th episode ever, and we talked about our 5 favorite episodes. Your top 5 and my top 5, but actually you guys, the listeners, have a top 5. We actually have statistics that show us our top 5 most listened to episodes of all time. So really quickly, if you're a new listener or even an old listener and want to know what the top 5 are, our top 5 episodes of all time, 5th on the list is our 2nd episode ever called Baby Gear, where we went over a bunch of baby gear. 4th on the list is our 42nd episode. It's called Leaving Baby for the First Time. We talked about the first time you go away for an extended period of time from your kid. 3rd was our 30th episode. It is a top 10 episode. It's top 10 surprises. Funny enough is that was on the list, but me and Brandon both had the 40th on our list, not the 30th. 2nd on our list is Father's Day, episode 43. We talked about Father's Day. And the number 1 listened to, this is not really a surprise, but is our first episode ever, which is What to Expect When She's Expecting. So, those are our top 5 episodes in case anyone was wondering. But if you haven't listened to us before or any of those are some good ones to listen to. If you have, make sure you like all our social media pages and tell us what you think. But Brandon, I can't wait until our next podcast because we're going to talk about what happened at this banger of a first birthday party and also a few other things that have been going on. So that will be exciting. I can't wait to see. And I'll be there as Dad solo because Macy works this weekend. So it'll be just me and Pate.
You should show up in the Coogee sweater, Jerry.
Ooh, maybe I'll have to maybe wear something kind of fly if this is the theme. I will be one of those guests coming. One of those guests coming right from work. So we'll see. We'll see what's happening there. I might be coming in a work polo, real fly.
Super fly.
But until next time, I'm Jerry, joined here by Brandon, and you've been listening to Dad Jokes.